So, how does Knight of Dregs work? When a status ailment gauge appears on your screen, you immediately gain a stack and a 20-second timer begins. When the timer runs out, it'll check if you still have a status gauge or not. If you do, you'll gain another attack buff stack. If you don't, you lose all stacks. As long as you can keep a stack on your screen, every 20 seconds you gain a stack for the attack buff, for a maximum amount of 10 and 45% more damage. The total time this requires is 180 seconds or 3 minutes. Once the timer begins, it doesn't matter how many times you gain or lose the status gauge within that 20-second window, it does not affect the timer. When the 20 seconds are up, it checks. This can lead to awkward moments where a grace removes all your gauges, but you only have 1 second left on the timer and can't gain one in time, so you have to start all over again. The best way to enable this is with Seppuku's starting skill and rot build up on the max HP on a deep relic. You can use the skill as soon as you get healed by a grace, which will give you back a gauge, and won't re-heal you while you level or pick loot. There have been other people suggesting using the Dreglord Relic as a way to build madness with the emote, but this is just really an awful way to do it. It's way too slow and requires you to stand still for longer. During a Night Lord, you won't really find an opportunity to do it effectively, and then you'll be in despair when you lose all your stacks. Unfortunately, this means the only characters who can use it effectively are Wilder, Guardian, Executor, and Scholar. If you have space because you have an Invader and Seppuku Relic, you can run Everdock Augur to make it a bit more brainless. Augur's HP recovery should heal you to full before the rot procs. Ideally, you never actually want the rot to proc. If poison or rot gets activated, it will last 40 seconds. Even at level 1, the meter naturally draining will be longer than 40 seconds if it's almost full. You also want to run rot over poison. Poison builds faster, and with Dreglord's Relic's HP regen on rot in vicinity, it ends up being lower than poison damage. I did a D5 run with randoms using this build to test the RNG factor of the 20-second timer, and even though throughout the whole run I never got downed, and there was about a total of 15 seconds of the gauges not on screen, the total being a collection of 1 second after each grace. Within that 1 second, I was unlucky and lost my stacks twice. If you can actually maintain 10 stacks, you hit like a monster. For my passives, I was doing about 600 damage per swing with my axe, while only having 2 invaders. But you have to give up so much in order to actually enable the relic. There's better build options you could be doing, like Jail's Balancer, or even the nerf necklace for power stance builds. Another issue is if you get hit, it activates the rot weapon buff, which you can't really use effectively unless you're Scholar or Executor, and it messes with your weapon's affinity against Night Lord weaknesses for improved poise damage and boss mechanics, which is part of the job as a melee, since it's much easier to find a weapon with Night Lord's weakness than a spell, so you have to swap weapons to remove the buff if you get hit. It also stops you from being able to run damage negation or increased attack power at full HP. As enticing as it is, Knight of the Dregs is too slow and requires too many resources to be effective. There's other options available to you. If maybe you receive the stack every 10 seconds and there was a grace period for the buff, then maybe it would be on par with the others. But it's still strong enough to be used effectively as a novelty. Well, that's it for the video. Goodbye, bye bye.